Hello and welcome to the Busy Webinar for June 4th, 2014. We're going to talk about Facebook today. So if you've not yet updated your Facebook page to the new design, this is your big chance to do so. So grab your laptop, grab your computer, grab everything you need. We're going to tell you what you need to do and how you need to do it in order to have your Facebook page look just as beautiful as your website if it was designed by us. If your website's terrible, it's probably not our fault, so I would hope that you would talk to us about that. I am Dave Meyer at BizzyWeb, and you can probably see us in the little corner of the Hangout in the broadcast. I'm waving over here. You can just barely see my head. But we're going to go through a bunch of things today and wanted to get right to it to have everybody have access to it. This part is the recorded half of the webinar, and so if you missed us or if you haven't had a chance to chat with us during this call, by all means, send any questions that you have to sales@BizzyWeb.com, and we'll handle your questions there. If you do have questions that you have a burning need for, just dial us up on the main number that's at the bottom of this slide as well, 612-424-9990. We do have operators standing by, so they say. If you go to google.com/plusbusyweb, there's also a great way to log in and ask questions live during the Hangout, and I'll be able to answer those questions using the Google Plus Hangout tool. And from the home page of the webinar, if you go down to, or if you go to BizzyWeb's homepage and scroll around where you see in red and look at the article from that day, the login instructions to get yourself onto Google Plus, as well as joining Google Plus if you've never done that before, are there, and that's where you'll be able to ask us questions live during the call and have us answer them for your benefit. What we're going to go down today, or go through today, is a little bit about BizzyWeb, of course, and then we're going to get right into a Facebook primer, and then the big meat of the day, the Facebook page workshop. We're going to talk about what to expect with images, what's changing, and show you how to update your page live on this call. When you're done, you should have a fully functioning, brand new, beautiful site. And for the folks that are here, we actually have Jessica on our team who's going to help you with any graphics help that you might need. So hang on, and we'll be able to help you out. So we do have some folks live in person today. So welcome to Fantasia Salons and MB, and to Jamie with Blind Installation and Repair, and of course Jessica with BizzyWeb. So thanks, guys, and I'm Dave, the big yellow bumblebee in the corner. As we go in, then, reminding everybody what BizzyWeb does and why we're here. We do these busy webinars each week because what we focus on and what we really excel at is helping people to create a website that integrates seamlessly with social media. So what that means to you is you have a website that you can manage, maintain, and update yourself, and that takes a lot of the hassle out of updating your social media accounts by letting it auto-post, your website auto-post to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and integrate with tools like YouTube and some of the other social networks as well. We take all of the hassle and pain out of having to upgrade or update all of your social networks to let you focus on strategy and on doing the right stuff. Our websites are all fully mobile responsive. They take care of everything that you need for full search engine optimization, because if you can't get found, you may as well not have a website at all. So we help you with all of that in one fell swoop. We also, of course, do search engine optimization, content marketing, advertising online, and the best darn web hosting, period, out there for WordPress websites. And we have a number of smaller designers out in the local and international markets that we host websites for. So if you're not hosting with us, shame, 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 you should talk to us right away. Again, this is what we do, and this is how things look if they're done correctly. The websites and the social media accounts that you've set up, you know, of course, Google Plus is up front. This is an often misunderstood account, but you need to have that for your Google rankings. The one right behind there is Facebook's new design. You'll notice a few different things, and we'll call that out in a moment. Of course, LinkedIn has wonderful pages, and if you brand it and use it correctly, there's a lot of really great opportunities to connect with high-value clients in corporate settings. And of course, Twitter has a brand new design as well, so that's an example in the very back. Let's get right into Facebook and what we're talking about for the day. And so, when you look at Facebook and when you connect with it, well, why even use Facebook? Well, for sure, Facebook is the largest social network in the world. There's 1.6 billion users, about 180 million of those are in the US, and or a little over half of those folks are female, and of a very desirable age for most marketing folks, ages 18 to 29 is where most folks tend to be. If you have a mass appeal product, service, or outreach, Facebook is a perfect place for you. This is where all of your neighbors are probably checking up on you, and where you're checking up on your neighbors and connections and friends and high school buddies and other folks. So human interest stories are of best results on Facebook, and there's some great tools that allow you to really focus in on exactly who you'd like to reach in Facebook. So this is the place to go if you want to have a laser focus on the people that you need to reach, and if your target markets have a wide and broad reaching focus. The key thing in all of this is company pages, and that's why we're here, because company pages just got access to the brand new design that they've been talking about for a couple of months, and that's been demoed on personal timelines for quite a while, about the past month and a half actually. But now, as of June 11th, all of your pages are going to look like what the BizzyWebs page looks like, and if you haven't prepared for that, your site is going to look a little weird, so we don't want to have that happen to you. For Facebook business tactics, search and listen to find examples and topics of other companies that are doing what you do. What I love doing is finding companies that are outside of my geographical reach that I'm not really competing with, because then I don't feel so bad about outright stealing their ideas. Whatever they're doing, you can feel free to do that, because it's not like you're sniping ideas from someone that matters. You're just connecting up. Learn from the best. Learn from folks that appear to be doing things. If there's a lot of interaction, or there seems to be a lot of buzz around one of your competitors, you can actually set up and watch those companies, and I'll show you how to do that as part of this as well. But you can see how things are going up or down for them, and compare that against your own content and see where things are going. Create content for your customers. A great thing to start with on Facebook posting and in all social media posting is your frequently asked questions. This is what people can consistently call up and ask you. That's what they're looking for, and that's why they're calling you. So put that out there. It's going to cut down on calls into your company, but it'll also help you to be useful and to speak to what you already know your clients want. So look for that and answer and ask those questions. Don't be shy of thanking your fans, and watch your analytics so that you know what people are doing. Some of your posts are going to have fantastic reach and interactions, and some are going to fall flat. Your job is to figure out which ones are best and to do more of that, and which ones aren't working, and to reconfigure your approach until you're getting consistent results across the board. The new timeline design, as I mentioned before, follows the overall timeline redesign. All Facebook pages are going to look like this by June 11th. When you log in, if you're an admin on your Facebook account, you're going to see a prompt to update, and you'll be walked through a number of steps. Don't freak out. You don't have to do it that second, and you only need to do it by June 11th, but you may as well take advantage of it now, and if you already have all of your profile photos and everything updated, you may as well take the push, because there's a lot of benefit to the new page design. Go ahead and edit it. You're going to walk through a bunch of pictures, and then they'll give you one final choice to make your website live. When you do that, you just go ahead and click a little button, and your new page design is out and live to the world. Very simple and easy. And here's an example of ours. And a little minor bragging point: we just got our BizzyWeb sign on our new building on the boulevard anyway last week. So that's what we're featuring this week on our website or our Facebook page. What's big about the new design changes? There's a single column for more emphasis on the stories that you had. The old Facebook timeline design had 2 columns, and it was always kind of confusing as to what was being published when, because it wasn't always obvious what was being shown as far as the timeline and what was going to get more emphasis and what was really important on the page. Now you just scroll up and down. It really matches more of the online design, so what you would see if you were on an iPhone or an Android, because they're making the design and the look consistent across every product and service that they feature. The images are wider, and that gives you a lot more reach and connection across everything that you do. Basically, those images, when you're publishing great images, you can just see a lot more of them. If you're publishing a video, you can go right into it, and the videos now play in line. They don't do the annoying thing of showing audio, but if you have a really engaging, cool video, it'll pre-play that video when you're scrolling down to help you get even more interaction on that video. A lot of people won't want to take the time to click on a video, but if they see basically an animated GIF when they scroll down, they'll be much more likely to click on that if it is interesting, and it gives you a lot more options and reach. So if you have something that's very visually interesting or something that's surprising or cool that you'd like to feature, video is a great way to connect with that. All of your page information is now on the left. It used to be kind of buried up in the top section, up in here. Let me grab my mouse. So up in here it was buried in the top section, and that let people get lazy about it because you would see about and you would see a couple of lines, but now your information is front and center. So you want to take a little bit of time and update your about information because that's very prominent now on your site. Your page likes are prominent. The photos and the people that you're already connected with are right up in front on your profile design. So having your website URL, or even better, a link directly to some specific landing page for your company's website, maybe for a social page, can be very, very handy. And it's much more prominent again, so make sure that you're using that space to get more traffic to your website. Your admin tools, if you're logged in as an admin, show up right at the top of the page now, so you can easily see how many posts you've had, how many ads you have running, how many likes you've received, and how many new notifications that you have. And that actually scrolls with you as you go up and down on the Facebook page if you're logged in as an admin. So that gives you a running toolkit so that you can always interact with your clients and connections on Facebook. It just makes your life a little bit easier. And then you can also add pages to watch. So as I mentioned, if you have a competitor, ideally that's outside of this current area, or outside of your geographic range, and you want to keep an eyeball on what they're doing because it seems like they really have their strategy set and they're getting some amazing results, just watch them. If you have a competitor that you want to watch locally, by all means do that. It doesn't show up that you're following anyone. It's just a simple gauge or barometer for you to measure what you're doing against some of your competitors or other sites that you really like. It doesn't have to be in your specific business or in your type of operation, but for anything that you think these companies are really doing a great job, or they're in a very similar situation to us, they're the same size, but they're really doing some cool stuff, it helps to remind you, this company really had a massive jump this week. You can see that they went up 20% in their likes. What did they do? Just go and check out their links, check out what they're doing on their site, and perhaps take on some of that as an easy opportunity for you to take action as well. Other key points for this, there's really less emphasis on tabs. So if you had applications and tabs on your site before, it's not featured up at the top of the timeline or the Facebook business page anymore. You get 4 things. You get timeline, about, photos, and reviews, and then everything else is stuffed under more. Not ideal for anyone that was used to or that had a lot of results from their pages or their tabs, but Facebook has realized for quite a while now that page use or tab use is kind of going away, and so they're burying it. It is available on the left-hand side of the page if you scroll down a bit, but you have to scroll quite a bit because it's underneath your about information, it's underneath all of your connections, and it's underneath quite a bit, so they actually have to be pretty engaged to want to go all the way down to those tabs. So here's the nitty-gritty on those page dimensions, on those image dimensions. The cover photo, and again, you don't have to be exact on these, but for all of the images to look perfect, you may as well have the exact image dimensions, because Facebook is going to try to squish the images into the sections that you've got. At a very minimum, plan for your image, your cover photo, to be horizontal, but if you want it to look perfect, make it 851 by 315. When we switched over our Facebook profile design, or our Facebook page timeline design, the cover photo was very blurry because it was slightly different between the old look and the new. Same thing with your profile picture. it's 160 pixels square, you'll probably notice, especially if you've never updated your timeline at all, that your image is either chopped off, or it looks weird, or it's fuzzy. So take that time and just update your profile picture with a new version. And depending on your logo, I know some of the clients that I have very horizontal logos that you'd have to zoom way out in order to get the entire logo. You may want to confer with your designer to help you retool to have a social media logo, and that will help you to get, you just need something that fits in a square box. And you have to think about this not only in the big, gorgeous web interface on Facebook, but also what it's going to look like on itty-bitty little iPhones or Androids, because it really truly is thumbnail sized or pinky nail sized on most devices. So if you have a lot of text on your logo, you may want to just come up with something that's very easy for people to just browse and know that it's you when you're making all kinds of posts. For photos, and this is along the left-hand side, they automatically resize to 105 by 105 pixels. The thing to know on this is that Facebook really optimizes its images for the square dimension. That's kind of built to help integrate with some of the other image sharing tools that go into square features. But it's 105 pixels square, and it's going to chop off your images if they're horizontal or big. And it does resize them, so make sure that your images have lots of good contrast if you want them to feature well in that featured photo section. And then in the big featured images section, again, you can post any images that you want. They can be horizontal, vertical, whatever. But Facebook is going to display them as 504 pixels square inside of that image. So if you post things up on Instagram or whatever, it'll work pretty darn well. But if you have something that you've got a big, broad picture, a big, wide picture, and most of the action is off to one side, it might not even show up on that page or on that image. The good news with all of this is that you get to demo this and you can preview as they show up. After you've published something, it'll show up on your page. But if you don't like it, you can always delete that post. And you can delete that or change the cover photo or change your profile photo. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. So let's move over now to wrapping this up. I wanted to cover the basics on making this happen. I'm going to actually change my screen sharing over to the live version of Facebook to give you another little bit of a demo. This is another reminder for folks, if you do have questions, the Q&A function from the Google Hangout is the best way to reach us if you're watching online. And of course, for the folks here, by all means, just ask any questions that you have. So I'm going to switch screen sharing right now. And while we do that, if anyone in person or online has any questions, would love for you to ask us right now.
Dave, I've got a question.
Yes.
The Fantasia logo,
yes.
I'd like to implement that as our banner across the top.
Sure.
And it is a vertical, not a horizontal picture.
Okay, yep.
So you said to try to look for, or have something that would be square. So what would you suggest for a vertical picture?
For a vertical-ish kind of picture, we just have to look at it, and we might want to just try loading it up. You kind of almost have to square it off with your eye and look at it and say, okay, well, if I chop off the top and the bottom, is it going to be okay?
Yeah, it's our sign. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that one, that logo works okay honestly for you guys, because it seems to be, it just kind of what it needs to do. Okay. So like if I /Fantasia salon, I believe. Either salon or together. That's not us.
No.
You're not in Connecticut.
If you put Fantasia MN, I think you'll get there.
Fantasia Hair Solutions, that's why.
Yeah.
So this one, again, this is a square image, or it's been made into a square image, as we talked about on here.
It's our profile picture.
This is it, and you're actually already on the new design.
Yeah, I did it last week.
Yeah, so as we built this out, you can see kind of how these things work.
Okay.
And so that's working. New post, top 10 reasons to visit.
Yep.
Awesome. So you can see this is a very vertical image, but on the actual profile photo, we just focused on the very top of that.
Perfect.
Facebook will let you kind of zoom around on an image, but again, this one is kind of blurry, so we'll want to look into that. And we've talked about some of the issues with that anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So like on the BizzyWeb side, some of our imagery was very weird looking when we published it up, and so we had to redesign and move some things around so that it looked good on this header. You'll notice that our likes and our stars are on here, and they're very prominent now. The people that you're connected with feature very highly now. And so reaching people nearby, all the promotions, again, this is because I'm an admin on the page. But notice I'm scrolling up and down, and all of my connections here just show up on the top. So it's scrolling, it's staying with me, and as I'm scrolling up and down, it's not moving. So I can see all that. Our photos are very prominent. All the stuff that we do is very prominent, as is our links and our about information.
Dave, I have a question.
Sure.
I am looking up Fantasia's website on my computer right now.
Yes.
Or their Facebook page, and
right.
I see the old format, not the new format.
That's because
I have not changed.
No, everybody that's up will see it. What you have to do is make your page live. So I'm an admin on this page as well. So what we'd probably need, there's a little button that says update page. So there's one last step that you need to take on here, and you click update page. So if we're happy with it,
did I do?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
or he could do it right now if you want.
actually, if I log out of Facebook, or even I'm sharing a screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out of Facebook quick, and when I do that, we'll see that so that everybody else can see it as well.
Okay.
And so then if I go to facebook.com/ what was the URL? What was the page URL?
Fantasia Hair Solutions.
Fantasia MN.
Fantasia Hair Solutions.
That didn't work, so that was the wrong page. What's the actual page URL?
I have facebook.com/Fantasia Hair Solutions.
Huh. Well, I should be able to see it without being logged into Facebook. Well, I guess I need to log in, so I'll log back in. Oh, great.
I have it on my computer. You want me to join in?
Sure. And I could do a screen grab as well, or a screen share as well on a different screen, but yeah, it looks a little bit different. So, and since I'm screen sharing, I don't necessarily want to type in my password. Actually, it just shows up as a bunch of dots. So if you want to know my password, just enter in a bunch of dots and you'll be good. I don't remember my password.
I don't either. I get it bookmarked on the computer, so. All right.
I think I remembered it. See, simple and easy, just a whole bunch of dots. So if anybody wants to log in, go ahead. Excellent.
Right, there we go.
So this is what it looks like. So as Fantasia Hair Solutions, so if you see this update page button, that means that you're not logged in yet, or that it's not updated yet.
Okay.
And MB, I think this already looks great, so we may as well click the update button.
That's right.
So I'm going to do that.
Perfect.
And then it says, ready? Let people see your updated page. So thank you, MB, for teeing us up for that, because that's the one thing I wanted to share.
Awesome.
And so right now, what other people see, people who go to your page will still see the old version until you publish your updated page.
Okay.
And what you see, you're previewing your new page so you can make sure everything looks the way it should.
Perfect.
So it doesn't go crazy until you hit this big green button. We already know that it looks gorgeous, so we're going to hit the update page for fans. And now it says everyone will update or automatically see your updated page on June 16th, so Facebook must have gotten a bunch of issues because when they did this last week, it said June 11th. So now the real news is that they've moved it up to June 16th. So you heard it here first. People who go to your page will now see the new version.
That's awesome.
And so Jessica, if you refresh,
There you go.
it changed it over. See, it's beautiful. That's how we
It all worked.
Yep. So now, again, you've got your reviews, you've got your posts, you've got your about information, apps. This is what was available underneath those tabs at the very top. And so it still shows up, but it's buried quite a ways. I mean, you have to scroll down through a few articles in order to even see all that stuff. Your videos are featured on here, but you can see it's a much wider look and feel than the old version, than the double wide version, I like to call it.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and Fantasia does a brilliant job of all of their social media, because I know the people that help with it.
Yeah.
But as we look at this, great job, and this looks awesome.
I wish they would have flip-flopped the people and the about, so the about is right there when you...
Right.
You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
have that first screen, you have to scroll down. If you don't click about, you have to scroll all the way down to
Mm-hmm.
get the little thumbnail of where you are. And,
Right.
You know.
It gets tricky, and as we look at these things, you can choose, in some cases, you can manage this tab, so you can manage sections. And so as I look at this, I can drag these to reorder, so you can put your about up at the top.
Oh, you can.
Yes. So, or actually, no, you can't. People in about are stuck. Everything else is up for grabs. So if you wanted your photos above your apps, which I would absolutely advocate for,
Okay.
unless you use your apps very prominently, you
Yeah.
can put that stuff up.
Perfect.
Like reviews, you guys have great reviews, so I would put that up there. And likes,
Okay.
notes, posts to page. I think that's exactly what you'd want.
Okay.
So now we've redesigned that page, and you can reorder that.
Awesome. Thank you.
So there we go.
Good.
And we're even going to give you pizza after this. So how about that? That's what you get when you show up in person for these webinars. Since we're at our halfway point, I'm actually going to move back over to our Hangout and button up. So if you do have any other questions, now is absolutely your time to get into that. We will switch our sharing over, and I'm going to go back to the presentation for just one last time so we can round out the actual broadcast portion of this, and then we're going to get into the big questions and the big helps for everybody else. So as we look at this, let's go into a few closing thoughts. First, BizzyWeb, of course, is a web design company, and in these big honeycombs is all of the stuff that we do. We're a WordPress web design shop that focuses on social media and social interactions to help you with getting found online. So what that means, everything that you do on your website should be found within 10 seconds, and it needs to generate leads and help you grow your business. If it's not doing that in some way, shape, or form, get a hold of us and let us help you generate buzz without getting stung. We do the best darn web hosting out there, and here's some of the reasons why. We have 3 hours of service and support built in each year to have you call us up and say, I can't remember how to do something, I need a little help on X, Y, or Z. We can help you with that, built right in. There's no other web host that does that. If you call up HostGator or GoDaddy, I was about to say Gear Daddies, which would be funny. They just will tell you politely to go away, and you get what you pay for. Security hardening and malware scanning keeps hackers at bay, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff for our clients since all of this new craziness has been happening with the Heartbleed stuff and the zero-day vulnerability and people just having bad passwords. We're finding a lot of stuff that we're catching it before it turns into an issue, but it's happening everywhere on the internet right now, so if you don't have someone helping you, you need to consider finding a way to make that happen. We have training and videos on how to do all of this stuff, and of course the BizzyWebinars are a big part of that, but then we also do backups in case you have something catastrophic or silly happen to your website, like you delete something that you didn't want to. We can help you by rolling your website back automatically. And again, GoDaddy, HostGator, Bluehost, all of those other crazy places, they say that they back up your site, but what they mean is that they back up the server. They will never help you with anything unless you pay them a lot of money to do so. And we build that into our hosting. And finally, we build out the optimized websites for social media content. We believe websites need to be an interactive tool that help you generate buzz. And remember to join us every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm proud to announce that we have Joanne Funch, who is a LinkedIn expert who is going to talk to you about how to grow your business using LinkedIn. So if you do anything B2B, she is going to be helping you to grow your business using LinkedIn. It's going to be fantastic. And again, this is going to be in person. So stop by for some pizza and to meet Joanne. If you're not available, be sure to tune in or catch the rewind of the event, because this is going to be a really good one. Joanne's brilliant, and she's talked in front of thousands of folks. And finally, be sure to fill out a Buzz report if you've not yet. We will look at your website and tell you what's missing as far as your search engine optimization and how you rank on Google, your website design, and your social media to help you set up a plan to grow your business online. If you're stuck and don't know where to go, this will give you the direction that you'll need to take the next step. We of course hope that you'll work with us, but that's not the ultimate intention. The ultimate intention is to help you generate buzz without getting stung, which is what we do at BizzyWeb. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to stop the webinar. We still have time to join us, so if you'd like to dial in separately and ask additional questions, by all means, or of course the folks who are here in person, now is our time to go through and actually help you make those changes. So hang with us and we'll take care of you then. Again, I'm Dave Meyer at BizzyWeb. Thank you very much. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday for a LinkedIn webinar at our BizzyWebinars series. And until then, remember at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung. Have a great week.